Me31, creative director at Bright Lane, some digital experience shop in Denver, Massachusetts in media theory, random minor in gender studies because, of course, been there like 4 years, got promoted stupid fast because I can sell a vibe with a straight face office is a tech chic nightmare pretending it's art old brick warehouse near Rhino, industrial in the way landlords mean. It's sealed concrete floors that make every heel click sound like a gunshot. $1,800 ergonomic chairs that nobody can adjust without starting a war kitchen, like a Whole Foods shrine kefir on tap. Fancy cold brew, and 3 kinds of oat milk that all taste like sadness. I run the Vision Group, branding, narrative, aesthetic, direction, whatever word makes clients feel spiritual. Basically the person who gives the work a soul, so sales can charge extra for it. My whole crew is women, all sharp as knives, degrees everywhere. Outfits always immaculate, everyone hyper-aware of power dynamics and language and harm. We even have a Slack channel called Hex Circle, mostly used to roast the sales bros' fits and pretend it's activism. Then there's the dev pit engineering squad in the back behind glass, like an aquarium. Everyone calls it the lab. I call it the engine room, because it feels like the boiler in a haunted hotel, like 90% dudes, late 20s to mid-30s hoodies, Patagonia vests, noise-canceling cans, mechanical keyboards going full artillery. They're the ones who actually make the stuff we sell. I know that still can't stop my brain from filing them under support staff. They're plumbers. I'm the architect always been tension. They have this cute habit of dragging my ideas back to earth by the ankle. I pitch some wild interactive journey. They respond with load time. I say infinite canvas. They say mobile RAM. I float something cinematic. They cough up a spreadsheet. Feels like I'm constantly getting my wings trimmed with a pair of specs. I'm not some cartoon villain either. I genuinely think of myself as a progressive manager, radical empathy, holding space, all that. But lately, it feels like the dudes here are taking up all the oxygen anyway. Not like obvious HR stuff. No one's calling me names or slapping my ass. It's the tiny stuff. The micro interruptions, the sentence finishing, the way they offer fixes before I'm even done describing the problem. It makes my eye twitch. I do have backup, though 2 feminist besties at work, Kendra, 34, runs people ops / culture / whatever they're calling, HR. This quarter, work-wife energy, brilliant and terrifying, can weaponize policy language like a sniper. Sees patriarchy in the shape of the conference table, and Zoe, 24, junior designer, Gen Z, insanely talented, emotionally made of wet paper, uses therapy words for everything once teared up because the printer felt hostile anyway. Tuesday 10 a.m. kickoff for Project Sunbeam. Client is a bougie wellness company launching a smart mirror, massive retainer like, don't screw this up or we all die. Money meeting room, packed client on Zoom, sales guys grinning, devs lurking in the back like bats. I've got the floor. This is my part. I'm presenting the soul of the product, spent my whole weekend building a mood board that could start a cult. I'm in it talking about intimacy, presence, the mirror as a companion, not a device pacing, hands moving, full flow state, I say when the user walks up. It shouldn't just power on. It should feel like it's waking up, like it recognizes you. Camera reads your mood, lighting shifts instantly, warmth adjusts, the whole thing breathes with you. I pause on purpose, waiting for the nods, waiting for that little, oh damn silence. Then Ethan from Dev chimes in from the back, no hand, no sorry to jump in, just launches into it like he owns the room. Prototype camera has like a 2-second wake delay. Can't do real-time detection without murdering the battery. Needs a manual touch to wake. Room goes. Still, my momentum dies mid-air, feels like someone yanked the aux cord out of my set. I look at Ethan, he's not even looking at me, staring at his tablet like he's reading the Bible, and then Mark next to him nods along. Yeah, physics is a thing. If we keep the camera always on, it's dead in an hour, unless you want it plugged in, which kinda ruins the whole look. There it is. Again they hijack the vibe and replace it with specs. I can feel heat crawling up my neck, my fingers curl without me noticing. I go, Ethan? Voice tight, polite in the way that isn't actually polite. We're brainstorming right now. Can we stay in the big picture before we get lost in tiny constraints? Ethan finally looks up, calm, slow blink, like a reptile in air conditioning. I'm not trying to shut you down. I'm giving you the edges of what's possible so you don't design something we can't build, I say. I don't need edges right now, and I hear myself snapping, but I don't stop it. I need you to listen to the vision. When you jump in with latency and battery, it kills the emotional punch. Ethan does this little shrug. Okay, just trying to save you from rewriting it later. Save you like, I'm a helpless kid drawing on the walls and he's the adult with the rag. I keep going with the deck, because what else can I do? But the magic's gone, I rush the rest. Talk too fast. Skip the little moments I was excited about. Sit down boiling, Kendra catches my eye across the table, that look that says, we're not letting that slide. Later. Strategy lunch, we walk to this vegan taco place around the corner. The kind of spot with neon signs and $9 sparkling water. Me, Kendra, Zoe. I'm tearing apart a jackfruit taco with a plastic fork like it owes me money. I'm ranting, it's the entitlement. He thinks knowing hardware automatically outranks creative direction, and he didn't even apologize. He just shrugged like I'm supposed to be grateful. Zoe looks genuinely shaken. That was literally verbal violence. He cut you off in front of everyone. My anxiety spiked just watching it. I felt unsafe, she says. Unsafe, like she's reporting a gas leak. Does he even realize how much space he takes up? Kendra just sips her hibiscus iced tea like she's loading a weapon. Kendra's eyes go ice cold behind her stupid expensive blue light glasses. She doesn't even blink. We can't make a rule that says don't talk, she says. That's basically censorship. If we write it down, they'll lawyer brain their way around it. I'm still pissed from the meeting, still hearing 2-second wake delay in my head, like a mosquito. So what do we do then? I ask. I can't keep dealing with the constant cut-ins. It makes me look weak. It's eating my authority alive. Kendra leans forward like she's about to teach a class. We change the culture, she says. We police the vibe. We make unsolicited help socially expensive. I stare at her. Translate that into English. Zoe's sitting there too, clutching her drink like it's a support animal. Kendra keeps going. We frame the behavior, she says, voice low. When he interrupts, we don't debate the tech point. We call out the act. We make it awkward. We make it cringe. Zoe nods too hard. Weaponize the ick, she whispers, like that's a normal sentence. Kendra smiles like she's enjoying this, exactly, public accountability. We create an environment where the guys are scared to speak, unless they're 100% sure they're not stepping on toes. They second-guess every syllable. No memos, no policy updates. Nothing that has to get filed or acknowledged. Just a coordinated, non-stop pressure campaign. Basically social tax. Seasoned Kendra raises her cup, like we're toasting. We're going to make the lab afraid to exhale. I feel this warm little rush in my chest. Like finally, a tool that isn't a slide deck. Next day and Wednesday afternoon, I'm walking past Zoe's desk in the open plan area she's wrestling. After Effects fans whining. Progress bar crawling like a dying animal. Zoe does this loud, dramatic sigh and drops her head into her hands like she's auditioning for an indie film, right on cue. Ethan strolls by on his way to the kitchen, hoodie on, coffee mission, neutral face. He slows down, does the little dev, Hover leans over her monitor and points at the timeline. You've got a frame rate mismatch, he says. Switch the comp to 24 and it'll stop choking. And then he reaches for her mouse like he's about to take the wheel. I move on instinct, swoop in like I'm defending a baby bird. Ethan. I don't say it quiet, I bark it. The whole room snaps to attention. Chairs stop rolling, typing pauses. Even the espresso machine seems to hold its breath. Ethan jerks his hand back like he touched a burner. What? He says, genuinely confused. I step closer. Arms crossed, full posture. Did Zoe ask you for help? Ethan blinks. No, but I heard her. So you assume she couldn't handle it, I cut in. He looks offended now. No, I just know the fix. I raise my voice just enough for the interns, enough for the CEO on his little standing desk nearby. Zoe is a professional designer, I say. When you loom over her and go for her mouse, you're creating a pressure dynamic. It's condescending. It's savior behavior. Ethan's eyes flick around. He's realizing the room is watching this like it's live TV. I was literally just trying to help, he says. And right then Kendra appears in her office doorway like a summoned demon. Impact over intent, she says calmly, like she's reading a weather report. Your intent is help. The impact is dominance. You're taking up her space. Ethan goes red, all the way up his ears. He looks like he just got caught cheating on a test. He mumbles, "Okay, sorry. I'll let her figure it out." And he walks off fast with his head down, like he's trying to escape a spotlight. Zoe looks up at me with wide eyes. "Thank you," she whispers. "I felt really small when he did that." I give her this reassuring nod, like I'm a hero in a commercial. "I got you," I say, and yeah, I feel it, that clean, sharp rush of power. No handbook needed, just shame applied at the right temperature. We don't stop there over the next couple weeks. We go full court. Press every meeting becomes a trap. Anytime a guy starts talking over someone, I pause, not a quick pause either, a long, uncomfortable breath, the kind that makes people look at their hands. I stare at them like they just burped during a eulogy. "Mark," I'll say, voice dead calm, "I'm noticing you're interrupting, so you can insert your voice. Can we let creative finish their thought?" Mark shuts down instantly like someone unplugged him, shrinks into his chair, eyes on the table if they try to offer practical feedback. I don't even engage the content. I don't need the how right now. I'll say, I don't need the logic. I need you to sit with the why. You're jumping to execution because emotion makes you uncomfortable. It sounds insane out loud, but it lands because the room's already trained to treat feelings like law, and Kendra's working Ethan from the other side, pulls him into these informal coaching chats. Not an official write-up, just the kind of meeting that ruins your day anyway. She tells him she's received multiple anonymous concerns, says his tone is aggressive, says his blunt delivery reads as hostile and exclusionary, tells him to check his privilege before correcting. People tells him his certainty, silences other voices. Ethan starts looking wrecked, paler, quieter, like someone's been slowly draining him with a syringe. He stops eating lunch in the kitchen, starts taking food back to the lab, like it's a bunker, headphones on 24/7. Even when he's just walking to the bathroom, the whole office changes. Texture air gets thicker, like everybody's speaking through cotton. There's always something unsaid hovering in the corners. But to me, it feels like peace end of the first month hits, and it's obvious the lab is dead quiet. Now used to be constant noise back there, guys arguing about crypto, laughing about some dumb show. Star Wars takes, whatever keyboard, clacks, and nerd bonding. Now it's just typing, no chatter, no jokes. Nobody looks up when you walk by. They're terrified of eye contact. Terrified, hey, will get translated into a microaggression. One afternoon, I walk into the break room for coffee. Mark is in there with an intern, kid named Tyler. They're whispering about some video game patch the second I enter. The conversation dies like I pulled the plug. Mark stares at the coffee machine like it's the Mona Lisa. Tyler freezes mid-stir. I decide to be generous, want to show I'm a kind leader when people know their lane. "Hey guys," I say bright and friendly. "How's the beta build coming?" Mark flinches, actual physical flinch, like I snapped a belt. He looks at Tyler with this warning look that screams, "Do not talk." Then he looks back at me. "Good," he says, "on schedule." "Nice," I say. "Any cool features I should know about?" Mark hesitates, mouth opens, then closes. I can see the memory replaying behind his eyes, the pauses, the stares, the savior behavior label. He decides safety over enthusiasm. "No," he says flatly, "just ticket items. Nothing new." He grabs his cup and leaves immediately. Tyler follows him out like a trained dog. I'm left standing there alone with the hum of the fridge. It feels weirdly cold, like I walked into a room after everyone died. But I tell myself, it's working. This is what respect looks like. They're learning boundaries, they're learning, they don't own the space, then the consequences start showing up. Social, malicious compliance, it bleeds into the actual work. I'm building a pitch deck for a tequila brand. Client wants liquid energy, they want motion, they want a mock-up with fluid simulation, glossy pores, swirling amber like a luxury perfume. I drop a message in the dev, Slack, "Hey, need a fluid sim for the tequila bottle mock. Make it sexy, thick, glossy, go nuts." Normally Ethan would fire back in 5 minutes. 3 options, some link to a physics library, a little, "Here's what will look best on mobile." This time, I get one single reply from Ethan. "Please provide target viscosity value, color hex, and animation length in milliseconds." I stare at the screen, frown so hard my forehead hurts. I type back, "LOL, I don't know the values. Just use your eye." Trust your instincts, Ethan replies, almost immediately. We do not want to impose our aesthetic preferences on the vision team. Please provide specs to avoid misalignment. Oh my God, he's doing it. He's refusing to be creative, refusing to engage, acting like a customer support chatbot, because chatbots don't get dragged into coaching sessions. So now I'm on Google like a clown, tequila, viscosity, centipoise, liquid simulation parameters, reading forum posts from guys named Fluid Wizard 92. I waste like 3.5 hours just trying to invent numbers that won't get me yelled at later. Finally, I send them something random, viscosity value, some amber hex code. I pulled off a stock photo duration in milliseconds, like I'm writing software, not a pitch deck. They build it exactly perfectly to the letter, and it looks horrific, like motor oil in a perfume. Add thick, dark, dead. It makes the bottle look like it's leaking diesel. I walk straight to the lab storm in like I own oxygen. This looks disgusting, I tell Ethan. Why is it so dark? Ethan swivels his chair. Halfway doesn't even take his headphones fully off, just slides one ear cup back like I'm background noise, blank face. I use the hex code you provided, he says, and the viscosity value of 7.2. I point at the monitor, but you could see it looked bad. Why didn't you fix it? Ethan looks at me with these dead calm eyes like a guy reading a parking ticket. I didn't want to overstep, he says. You were very specific. If I changed it, I'd be centering my own opinion. Then he turns back to his screen conversation. I'm shaking with rage, but I can't punish him. He followed instructions. He followed the new vibe. Rules he respected my space so hard, he let me eat glass month 2 hits. And the place feels split down. The middle front of the office is basically a sorority lounge. The women posted up by the big windows laughing, swapping skincare, talking horoscopes. Like it's OSHA training, back of the office is a bunker. The guys clustered in the lab, silent grim hoods up, headphones on, like prisoners avoiding the guards. We used to do Friday happy hour. Everyone would spill next door to the brewery. Even sales would show up and try to be funny. This week I send the invite in Slack, drinks at 5, who's in? Kendra reacts with a heart. Zoe reacts with a heart, absolute nothing from the lab. No emoji, no, can't make it. No, courtesy. 5 p.m. rolls around. I watch the guys pack up backpacks on laptops, snapped shut. They file out in a weird little line, like they're evacuating a building. No goodbyes, no eye contact, not even a later. I catch Tyler near the door. Hey, I say, you guys coming for a drink? Tyler looks over at Ethan by the elevator. Ethan's just standing there, waiting, expression neutral. Tyler goes pale. No. We have a thing. A thing, I ask, like work? No, just a thing. Bye. And he basically flees. We go to the brewery anyway. It's just us. Just the women. We order margaritas like we're celebrating a conquest. We talk about how calm everything is. Now, Zoe says, dead serious, I feel like I can finally breathe without all that male energy. Kendra nods like she's approving a budget. We reclaim the space, she says. We deprogram the default. But after 2 drinks, the conversation dies. It's just client complaints timeline, whining the usual. It's boring. Later that night, I'm scrolling Instagram in bed. I see a story from some ex-employee who's still friends with Mark. It's a video karaoke bar. All the lab guys are there. Ethan is on stage singing Don't Stop Believin', like his life depends on it. He's laughing. Actually laughing? Mark's hyping him up, high-fiving arms around each other, like they're a team. They look alive, they look happy, they look like a little family. A family I'm not invited into, and I feel this ugly knot of jealousy twist in my stomach. I swallow it down. I don't need their friendship, I need their compliance, and I have it. Then the big one lands, Project Nightfall, the contract that decides if we have a good year or a quiet layoffs year. Massive crypto exchange wants a full rebrand and UX overhaul budget is like $3.6 million. Timeline insane, the kind of schedule where everyone starts sleeping with their laptop. I'm lead on it. I come in with a vision, make crypto feel like Apple, simple, clean, frictionless, no clutter, no nerd stank. I invent this feature called Tap to Trade. No confirmation screens, no passwords, just biometrics, and boom. Trade happens smooth as liking a post. We're in a strategy. Meeting me, Kendra, Ethan, Mark. I'm pacing again, marker in my hand, drawing little boxes on the whiteboard like I'm mapping a religion. It's about trust. I say, we remove barriers. We make spending money feel effortless. And the whole time, I'm watching Ethan because deep down, I know this is risky. Crypto is basically a security horror show wearing a blazer. I'm waiting for him to push back. I'm waiting for, what about fraud? What about account takeover? What about literally any safety net? Ethan looks at the whiteboard, then looks at Mark. Mark looks down at his shoes like they're fascinating. Nobody speaks. Finally, Ethan nods slowly. Okay, he says, we can build endpoints for that. That's it. I poke the bear. You don't think that's dangerous? Ethan meets my eyes. His face is this perfect mask of polite nothing. You're the creative director, he says. It's your vision. If you want zero friction, we will build zero friction. I get this weird urge to test him harder. I don't want you to just agree with me, I say, and Ethan doesn't miss a beat. I'm not just agreeing, he says, I'm listening. I'm holding space for your concept. He's using my language, my words. Therapy speak turned into armor. A chill runs through me. I force a smile. Great, I say, let's do it. The next month is a blur. Late nights client calls, Figma everywhere. We build the beta, the U. I is gorgeous, tap to trade works flawlessly. It's fast too fast. It feels addictive in a way that makes my brain purr. I present it to the client. Their CEO practically vibrates. This is the future, he says, then basically shouts, ship it, launch it now. Launch day turns into a party in the office champagne music creative team, taking pictures like we won an award, and in the back, the lab is dead quiet. Ethan and Mark sitting at their desks, headphones on eyes on dashboards, monitoring servers like two lifeguards watching a pool full of drunk people. They're not drinking, not even pretending Ethan and Mark are just sitting in the lab, eyes glued to dashboards, not tense exactly, more like already checked out, like two guys waiting for a tow truck. I wander back there with a champagne flute like I'm doing outreach. Come on, Ethan, I say. We pulled it off. Have a drink. He doesn't even turn. All the way stares at his monitor like it's going to confess something. I'm on call, he says. I'll pass. I laugh to make it cute. God, you're such a buzzkill. Lighten up. We just changed the industry. Ethan's mouth twitches like he almost smiled and decided against it. We definitely did something, he mutters, and then he goes right back to watching server graphs crawl 2 days later. Not even a full 48 hours. I'm asleep. Deep asleep. The kind where your phone buzz sounds like it's inside your skull. My phone rings at 2:47 a.m., caller ID, Dan agency owner, the guy who talks in Runway and Burn and thinks kombucha is a business strategy. I answer, half dead. Hello? Dan's voice is shredded. Wake up, now. I sit up, heart already racing. What? Open Twitter, he says. Open it right now. I fumble for my phone, like my hands forgot how to be hands open. X/Twitter. First thing I see is a trending tag, #Nightfall. My stomach drops straight through my body. I tap it, and it's just fire. Thousands of posts, screenshots, people screaming into the void. Nightfall drained my wallet. Clicked one link, lost $42,000. No 2FA? Are these people insane? Tap to trade is basically a robbery button. I scroll faster. There's a thread from some security researcher with a blue check, Nightfall app vulnerability and tap to trade flow. No confirmation step plus reusable biometric token. Bots replay auth token and execute trades instantly. This is security 101. Negligence. I feel my throat close. I actually gag, roll out of bed and throw up into my bathroom sink like a hungover freshman, wipe my mouth with shaking hands. And the whole time, my phone is still buzzing with notifications like it's mocking me. I'm in my car 5 minutes later, driving through empty streets in the dark. Denver feels dead at that hour. Just streetlights in my headlights and panic. I get to the office around 3:30 a.m. Dan's already there. Hair a mess, face gray, and in the lab, Ethan and Mark at their desks. Same posture as the party. Except now, it's not resignation, it's just routine. Dan turns when I walk in. His face is purple, like a man trying not to explode. He says it quietly, like if he says it loud, it becomes real. We lost about $10 million of user funds in 6 hours. My brain refuses to process that number. Then he adds, even quieter, the client is suing, gross negligence, we're done. I spin toward Ethan. Everything in me is heat and terror. Why didn't you tell me? I scream. Voice cracks on the last word. Ethan turns his chair slowly like he's been waiting for this moment all month. He looks tired, but mostly he looks bored, like I just asked him a question he's already answered in his head. Tell you what? He says, that it wasn't secure? That we needed 2FA? I'm shaking yes. He nods once, calm as a hostage negotiator. I thought about it, he says, and that lands like a punch. You thought about it, I say, and you said nothing. Silence floods the room, just the hum of servers and the AC, and my breathing going ragged. Ethan stands up, not fast, not dramatic, just gets up. Grace, he says, do you remember the Project Sunbeam kickoff? My stomach tightens again. What does that have to do with the meeting where I brought up a limitation? He continues, and you told me I was derailing your vision. I freeze. He keeps going, voice steady. Do you remember the coaching session with Kendra? I look over. Kendra is in the corner, like she materialized out of guilt. Pale eyes, wide hands clasped like she's praying Ethan's tone stays even. Where I was told unsolicited technical corrections are patriarchal dominance. Where I was told my matter-of-fact tone is hostile. Where I was told to stop taking up space. Kendra flinches like each sentence is a slap. Ethan looks back at me. I learned my lesson, he says. My job isn't to correct you. My job is to build what you request. You asked for zero friction. You asked for trust and intimacy and speed. Security is friction, so I removed it. I can't stop it. Tears start spilling hot and humiliating. People lost money, I choke out. This is a crime. Ethan doesn't raise his voice, doesn't gloat, just says it like it's math. And if I stopped you, he says, I'd be the toxic male engineer mansplaining security to the female creative director. I'd be creating a pressure dynamic. I chose to protect my peace. He picks up his backpack from under his desk, like he packed it earlier, like he planned this exit. I patched it an hour ago. By the way, he adds, the exploit's closed, but the money's gone. He looks at Dan. I quit. Then he looks at me, his eyes flat. Good luck with your vision. And he walks out. Mark stands up immediately like it's choreography. Yeah, he says, me too. And then more chairs scrape back one after another. The whole dev team rises silent. No speeches, just grabs bags and leaves through the glass, like ghosts. Dan just stands there, mouth open. Kendra looks like she's about to faint, and I'm left in this polished, expensive office that suddenly feels hollow. 2 weeks later, Brightlane files for bankruptcy. The lawsuit is real. The client goes nuclear. Dan calls me into his office like it's a funeral. He fires me, and he fires. Kendra says we created a hostile work environment that directly contributed to product failure, which is almost funny if you don't think too hard about it. Packing my desk takes maybe 15 minutes. Succulence. My diploma in a cheap frame. My, nevertheless, she persisted mug. Some notebooks full of words like vibe and frictionless and trust. I carry the box through the office front. Area is dead quiet, no laughter, no hex circle energy. The lab is empty, monitors off chairs, pushed in like the room got erased. I hit the elevator button and wait thumb. Scrolling out of Reflex LinkedIn, notification pops up. Ethan posted an update new role, lead security architect at a huge cybersecurity firm in Seattle. Post has like 600 likes already. Mark commented, absolute king behavior. My throat tightens so hard it hurts elevator doors open. I step inside, polished steel walls. My reflection stares back at me. I look put together. I look competent. I look like someone who's in charge, but it's just me in a metal box holding a cardboard box. I walk out to the parking lot. It's raining steady. Cold rain. My car is sitting there, beaded with water. I get in, don't start it. Just sit listening to the rain tick against the glass, and my mind replays every time they interrupted me. Every correction I hated. Every actually I treated like an attack, and it hits me, sharp and ugly. Those interruptions were the supports, the annoying beams holding the ceiling up, and I ripped them out because I hated the noise. I drive home in silence, just the sound of rain, and the knowledge that I will never be interrupted again.